My name's Tim, and I am a prof. I'm also a farmer, but that makes me human, I guess. My goal is to show you what a lecture looks like, okay? So the goal here is expose you all to what might happen when you come to Western or any other campus across North America for that matter, and probably even Europe. I don't know what it would be like in Asia. But you're going to meet individuals, different professorial styles, and you have no control over that. There's no way that you can influence that other than through your own behavior, right? So you're going to have to put up with it. So although it might be UW, you're going to come into some good, some bad, and some plain old ugly profs in your own mind. Ah, good. Here we have the scapula. Very modern picture. Oh. The scapula, oh, it's a very good bone, yeah. It lives in the upper back of the human body. You will see from the photograph here that you are looking at the anterior surface of the scapula. Any questions? Good. We will continue with the lecture next week. You should make sure you know everything about the humerus. Thank you very much. So Hans is not up with the times necessarily. So he thought he was. Was he using that technology really well? No. It was in focus for his crazy glasses, but maybe not in focus for yours. I'll hear students say this all the time. Obviously, the prof is brilliant, but they're not very clear. You're all brilliant. That's why you're here, okay? The point of profs is to help make things clear for you. But if they don't, you're going to have to put up with that. And you're going to have to come up with possible tricks of the trade to make it easier for you to succeed in that course. No attention to you guys. You had a couple questions, I bet. But you didn't. If you had your hand up, Hans didn't see you. Why? Yeah, he was talking like this, looking at his beautiful drawing. It wasn't working so well. So we have to pay attention to that. And therefore, the knowledge or the message or the objectives for the day, which he didn't say, are lost. So this is a scapula. And the book says it's the posterior scapula, or it's the posterior scapula for sure. So sure. That's up, and that's down. So that's called the upper. Oh, the superior angle. Yeah, the superior angle. That's important. I'm sure it's going to be on a test. The shoulder is comprised of a bone hooking here, but that's next chapter. So make sure you read the chapter, right? And we'll come and chat, and I'll be in better moods, I promise. Okay? So, class dismissed. If the prof is not doing a good job, you have permission to help them. Sir, we can't hear you. Turn that knob up. It's called volume. If he's not wearing this black thing, there's a microphone in the podium. Every class has one. I know it's going to be difficult to raise your hand maybe in a class of 300, but if you put the effort forward, someone else down the road will say, love your question. I'm so glad you asked that, because you'll find out that many people in the classroom have the same question, but they also might be lacking the courage to ask the question. So be a leader. We have an objective today, or a set of objectives. We need to review the pertinent terms, you guys. We're learning a different language. That's why you go to school. And when I mean by a different language, I don't mean French or Spanish or Chinese for that matter, but you're learning the new language of being learned. And in this case, our language is Latinized, Greekerized anatomy. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Of course, he's the inspiration of Hans Hefeweizen. But does he have scapula, even though he's a big muscly dude? Yeah, he has scapula, and they're the same size as this. They're the same size as you guys, relatively speaking. It's all written in the olecranon fossa. All you have to do in general is put your arms out like this. Stretch them as far as you can. Okay? So the next day, we're going to go ahead with musculature. So read chapters, what is that? 11, part 6. We're going to get into the forearm. So if you don't read ahead, it's all going to be new for you. But if you read ahead, you're going to learn more. So if we back out of that lecture, guys, Professor Besthans, maybe, in my mind, had better AV skills. This is all audiovisual skills. I didn't give you the whole slide. I built things for you. I had objectives, so you knew how things stepped through the roadmap of the lecture and how that related back to the syllabus. Hopefully I had better presentation skills, better clarity, and a little bit more precision in my language for you. So you could see exactly where I was pointing, and I spoke to it, and I repeated it, and then I asked a question about it, and then you told me, and I repeated it. And if it was important, you probably heard it 3 times. That's what happens, though, in big lectures. You can't sit idly and just drool a little bit coming out of your mouth. You have to be active. You need to come prepared. You need to maybe have breakfast if the lecture's at 8:30. No one cares what you wear, but we care what state your mind is in. So you can come in pajamas, but come ready to learn. I use models. In a smaller class or a laboratory, it's easy for us to give stuff around and let you try. And you're welcome to come up after class and have a look at it. Those kinesthetic learners that like to feel how things are can come into their own level of knowledge. And we concluded. The conclusion was a little off skew from what we learned because we cut it short, but we have conclusions to sort of set you up ahead of time. So thanks, guys, for your time. That's your brain learning. You're getting squeezed. Hopefully from this, you had some attention, and regardless of what we do, you learn that you can learn even though it's good, bad, or ugly. And although my medium is always light, the message is not, okay? Ultimately, you are responsible for your academic future, not your prof. So what are you going to do about it? Thanks for your attention.